vinyl friends and vinyl community. It's Brian from Brian's Vinyl Records, and it is Tuesday and time for another edition of Vinyl Editions. So Tuesday, well, yesterday in the United States it was President's Day, and my kids had the day off, so I spent the day with them playing video games, watching TV, and listening to great tunes. If you follow me on Instagram, you got to see what kind of fun music we listened to yesterday. But that is why we're a day late here on this Vinyl Editions. But fear not, I've got an exciting one today, because not only do I have some cool additions to my collection, but I've also got an unboxing to do, which I'm pretty pumped about. So stick around, that'll be at the end here. But right now, let's get started. Some of the things that came in last week, this came in I think on Wednesday last week, and it was one that I saw pop up. It came in my feed for some reason, and it popped up saying it was in stock. I checked it out. They had one copy available left on Amazon. This is something I've never seen on Amazon available. It's been in my wish list for a long time, so that's why I got alerted on it, but it was pretty cool when it did pop up, and I'm talking about this one. This is the Black Crowes Before the Frost, and it also includes Until the Freeze, which is the second part of that. Now this is a 2009 album from the Black Crowes. Some people love and some people don't love it. I think it's pretty good, but this is one that is really hard to get on vinyl, and it's usually pretty expensive. This is, I think, a 2019 repress of it. You can hardly tell though, because they look the same as the 2009 releases, and the runouts are the exact same between both copies. So they don't make it easy for you to figure out what you have. But since it just popped up on Amazon, I'm going to assume that this hasn't been sitting around since 2009, and it's a 2019 press. So I'm going with that, but it's still pretty cool. Great album. Awesome to have in my collection. The next one I picked up from a friend who had an online auction, and he had this one available, and I got this for a song. This is Prince's self-titled album. Of course, the hit on here would be the I Want to Be Your Lover song. Just a real fun album from Prince, very disco. 1979, I believe this came out, so a really good album. So happy to have this in my Prince collection. Slowly but surely, we're filling that out. This one I picked up over the weekend. I went and visited my friends at Mill City Sound and finally got a copy of Dire Straits' self-titled debut album. It's fantastic. It's got Sultans of Swing on it, which was the big hit from here. But just Dire Straits, the production value Mark Knopfler and gang put on their albums is hardly rivaled. They're just fantastically produced albums, and they sonically just amazing to listen to. So happy to add this to my collection. Real excited about that one. While I was there, I decided to look and see if this album was available in their new inventory, because I see it pop up from time to time on Amazon, but it seems to continuously go out of stock. And it's just one of those albums. The guitarist from this band at the time went on to become one of my favorite singer-songwriters. I'm talking, of course, about Jason Isbell, and this was his band. I've never really got into him, but decided to give him a listen, and I really enjoyed it. This is Drive-By Truckers, The Dirty South. This is the one most people recommend from the Jason Isbell era. I think there are 3 albums that feature Jason Isbell on them, and this one is the one that's recommended by most. So I really enjoy this, so I'm going to probably delve into their catalog a little more. I think it was just a fantastic record, so happy to pick this up. And then also while I was there, I decided to finish off my collection of this gal. Just recently got into her from recommendations from my vinyl groups, and really enjoyed the latest release. Got the one previous to that, and now I picked this one up. This is Samantha Fish's Belle of the West, and another absolutely fantastic album from Samantha Fish. Really enjoyed it. She's a really good guitar player, bluesy, and I really like her voice. So happy to add this to my collection. I believe that's all 3 of her albums now that I have in my collection. Alright, Amazon had a big deal going on where you could buy 2 and get 1 free. So I took advantage of that and picked up a couple things here, and of course one of them is sitting on my turntable, so I'll get to that last. But the first one is this. This is Audioslave's self-titled album. Chris Cornell, lead singer on this one. Love Chris Cornell's stuff. I really haven't gotten into him as much as I should have back in the day. I had Soundgarden's first item and, of course, Super Unknown. Other than that, I kind of fell off the Soundgarden bandwagon. Went a lot country in my college years. so really didn't get into Audioslave when they came around. And when I got into records, of course, I got the 2 Soundgarden albums I really liked, and I picked up a couple Chris Cornell solo albums, which I really love, and just never really thought about this until I saw the 2 for $3 sale, and this was part of it, so I decided that that was a good time to pick this up. Fantastic record. Chris Cornell is awesome, and it's a really good album. So Audioslave was one. The second one I got was a best of the Electric Light Orchestra. So ELO, something I never really listened to a whole lot. I know their songs because of radio play and whatnot, and of course Guardians of the Galaxy put them back in people's minds, but never really got into them. And so I thought this was a great way to do it. I'm just not interested in collecting their whole catalog, so why not go with a best of and greatest hits album? So that's what I did. I'm looking forward to spinning this. I've heard good things about the press, and looking forward to that. So that was one. And the other one that I picked up was Lenny Kravitz's greatest hits. Of course, that's sitting out there right now because that was the last thing I spun yesterday. But I picked up Lenny Kravitz's greatest hits as my third album in the buy 2 get 1 free Amazon sale that they had over President's Day weekend, and that one sounds awesome. So real excited about that. Listened to that yesterday. And last but certainly not least, before we get to the unboxing, is this one. As many of you have known who followed me for a long time, I have been collecting Carly Simon albums as part of my just, obsession. I never really got into her as a kid. Picked up a couple of her albums for free from someone and really enjoyed them, so I started grabbing them as I saw them. There was 2 records that eluded me for the longest time. One of them you could only buy from her website directly. I did that a few months back and had that. The second one was kind of a standards cover album that she did that for some reason I just could never find in the wild. They're available. Discogs has a bunch for sale and things like that, but I just never found a deal to add other things into the cart to make it worthwhile to buy the album itself from Discogs. So I just never have pulled the trigger. So come this weekend, I'm at Mill City Sound, one of my favorite stores, and every time I'm there, I check the section for Carly Simon, just in case. You just never know, right? And lo and behold, not only do they have 1 copy, they have 2 copies of this album in stock. I went ahead and got this one. This is a sealed copy of it. Carly Simon's My Romance. Like I said, it's a cover album of a bunch of standards that she did. This was in 1990. And I was so pumped to see this. They had this sealed version and an open version that was in excellent shape, except for it had a notch cut in the top and a couple of wrinkles on it. So I decided to go with this one. This one is great. It obviously it's been sealed forever. It has a little bit of a lip warp, which I'm a little worried about on the Ortophone cartridge. So I'll probably have to spin it in here. The Ortophone is pretty picky about lip warps. It'll jump when it sees them, but the AT95EX that I run in my office here has no problem tracking, so I'll probably spin it in here. But real excited to have this. This does complete the collection of Carly Simon on vinyl. There are 2 other albums on vinyl for Carly Simon that are, I believe one is a movie soundtrack, and another one is one that is only pressed in Brazil. The movie soundtrack also is only pressed in Brazil. So I've kind of told myself that those I'll probably never get because when they come from Brazil, very difficult to find. And that's fine. Hopefully someday her later catalog from in the 90s on will get some vinyl reissues at some point. But until then, I think I would call my collection of Carly Simon vinyl complete at this point. And I'm pretty pumped about that. So very excited to do that. I'll probably do an artist spotlight on Carly Simon in the future to show the albums that I have, the collection that I have. All right, so stay tuned because we're going to do an unboxing. I'm super pumped about this. So I am going to cancel out here, go get the box, and we'll be back with that exciting unboxing in a snap. All right, I'm back. So I've got a box of something here I want to unbox and show you. I'm super excited about it, but as I went to get the box here, something else came in the mail, and it is from my good friend Eric Weinbender, a little VCLT here. So I'm pretty excited. Let's see what we got here inside. So I've already scored it open, so I didn't have to do that on camera. We'll pull it out here. There's a note and a record here. So, all right, here we go. This is Judas Priest Stained Class. Very nice. So Eric is a huge Judas Priest fan, and he had mentioned how he was only needing one Judas Priest album, the Nostradamus album, on record, and I had just so happened to have seen a copy of the box set at one of my local record stores. It was just a vinyl. It didn't have the CDs or any other stuff that came with it. I mentioned it to him and told him what the price was, and he told me, you know, hey, if you could get him to do it for this price, pick it up for me, I'll make it worthwhile. I said, no problem. So I went back. It was still there. I bought it from the guy and sent it off to Eric to complete his collection. Pretty cool. And he said, you know, he thanked me profusely and said he would hit me back with a Judas Priest gift. And so that is what we have here. Very excited about this. I do not have it, and I'm looking forward to listening to it because this is one that many people think is one of their better albums. So thank you, Eric, for that. I appreciate the VCLT. And now on to the main event. I have a box here. Nice big box. This is from a website called deepdiscount.com. I've used them in the past. They have a ton of stuff usually on sale in their bargain bins, or their 70% off or 50 to 69% off sales. And so every once in a while I'll go through there and look, and someone had posted a link on one of the vinyl boards I'm on that stated that they were having a major bargain bin sale to clear out some of their stuff. It had things like Kiss and whatnot. So I went on there to check it out and see what they might have that I'd be interested in. And one of the items that I ended up purchasing here is something that I've wanted for quite some time, but is super expensive, and I didn't want to pay the price that it went for, so I just didn't think I'd ever really buy it. Well, they had it on sale, and I had a 15% off coupon from them because I've purchased from them in the past. So with those two things, I got this down to a price where I was very comfortable paying for it. So we'll get to that, but let's go ahead and open this up here. And let's see what we got. I got a box within a box here. So this will include the item I'm talking about, and then a couple other LPs. Like I said, they have a really good clearance or bargain bin section, and I found a couple that I thought were worth the price of admission alone. So we'll get to that here. If we can open this box. I hate that I have to open this on camera here, but we'll get it. All right, so these are the LPs, the loose LPs that I had chosen out of there here. So up first, this is for my wife. She is an avid Disney fan, and so I picked her up a copy of Aladdin picture disc. She has the Beauty and the Beast picture disc, which is one of her favorites, so this will go right along with it. And she's pretty excited about that, so that's pretty cool. All right, this one I didn't really need, to be honest with you. I have an original pressing of it, or an early pressing at least, and it sounds absolutely fantastic, but when it's $6 to buy it, I just decided why not. Bon Jovi's Slippery When Wet. Why not? It's $6. It's an updated, remastered version. We'll see if it sounds any better than the original that I have. And let's see here. I also picked this up. This is John Cougar Mellencamp. This is the best that I can do, 1978 to 1988, so kind of like a greatest hits package from John Cougar Mellencamp. And I pretty much picked this up. I have a bunch of John Cougar's solo albums, and I just picked this up because this is nice. It's nice to put this on because it has pretty much all the big hits that everyone knows right here, and instead of swapping out discs all the time, I can just hit them all with one album. So pick that up. That was cheap as well. And then last but not least, I was pumped about this, guys. This is a band that my buddy Matt told me about. He and I were had been friends since high school. We played in a couple bands together, and we write music together quite often. And he pointed these guys out to me and said I should check them out, that he thinks I would like them. They were kind of a cross between the Black Crowes and a hard rock band, and I really enjoyed it. But the album was always like $30-some online, and I just didn't want to do that. But when I saw that this came up at $7, I jumped on it. So this is a band called Blackwater Conspiracy, and this is their album Shootin' the Breeze. And the singer has a very cool, interesting voice. It's kind of like a cross between it's almost like a Cinderella type voice at times, and their music is a lot like the Black Crowes at times as well. So it's a really neat blend of two groups that I really like, and it's a really great album. So if you haven't heard of them, check them out. It's Blackwater Conspiracy. They are on the streaming services, and I think this is their only album right now, but worth listening to. It's fantastic, and I'm super pumped to have this on vinyl now. So excited. All right, you've waited long enough. The main event is upon us. Guys, I am super pumped about this. This is a box set. Get rid of all this stuff here. And like I said, I didn't think I would ever probably purchase this because it was super expensive, but I got this down over $100 off the list pricing that you would find it at any other stores on, because of my coupon, and they had it on sale. I'm happy and excited about this. This is the Tom Petty Studio Albums Volume 2. It includes Last DJ, Hypnotic Eye, Highway Companion, Mojo, Echo, She's the One, and the all-important Wildflowers album that is super hard to find. So there's a look at all the albums that come in here. I'm so excited about this. I saw the price and I went upstairs and said to my wife, I said, I want to spend this amount of dollars on a box set. And she is a Tom Petty fan herself, so it wasn't too hard to convince her. She just said, do it. And so I did. And I'm super pumped about this. Wildflowers itself goes for, in the 100 or more range online just for that album itself. So to get this for a few bucks more with everything else in it, I'm excited to have. I didn't want to pull it before because I do have 3 of these albums currently on vinyl already. So of the 7, I had 3. So when it dropped to the price it was, I figured that it was worth paying the price for those other 4 albums that I didn't have. So there you go. Super excited about this. Thanks again to Eric for the VCLT. I really appreciate it. And thanks everybody for watching this episode. I know it's a couple days late, but better late than never. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, if you like this one, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and if you're new, please hit that subscribe button. Would love to have you along for the ride. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, keep spinning, vinyl friends.